sometimes teachers will challenge you and think that no, you cannot achieve. You have to probably do languages and all that. At the end of the day, you're going to get married after your senior six. If you're lucky to get there, or if you don't get pregnant along the way or something like that. And they told me, oh no, you don't have to be playing that much. You might grow or have voice muscles. I feel like why? I think even recently His Excellency had to talk about it. You find that young couples just got married, but they're always fighting to the point they almost kill each other, and some do.
Remember how you started and today you're here. How does it feel?
I'd say it's a dream come true. However much we're always looking up to something to achieve, but I would say today it's a dream come true. Seeing that even the fact that of where you found us, where we started from, the number of people we worked with, but also the number of community members we could reach, I would say I'm very grateful.
But tell me about Afro-Ark, how the idea came, especially the name.
Afro-Ark literally means Africa, with Afro standing for Africa, then Ark as Noah's Ark in the Bible. So initially we had a couple of different names that at some point was that were not rhyming with what we really wanted to hear. But as time went on, we remember the story of Noah in the Bible, of how he built an ark and he was trying to make sure that he brings in a couple of different animals or species of different kinds to make sure that after the flood, that generation is going to keep on living. So with that inspiration, we thought if we could have an African ark where we're going to support different communities to be safe, so that the coming future is going to even be better. So that was the inspiration, and all the work that we do is to make sure that our society is safe and healthy, as our motto says.
How important is that motto to you?
Yeah, I would say it's not too far from the name. As I already mentioned, we wanted to make sure that our society is safe. But to be safe, on the other hand, you have to be healthy. If you're healthy, you're going to be able to look for what you can do, an economical activity. You're going to be able to cater for your families. You're going to be able to live in healthy relationships that do really impact on how a young child grows up. And mostly when it comes to girls, given the traditional ways of how girls could be treated, or what they will do and what they were not supposed to do. And with the growing community all the world, it felt like if you could be able to have a community where a girl's education is respected, and then their rights are respected, they have full information to their sexual health, to the way they grow from the childhood to puberty, to when they really grow up and age up and all that, it's going to help her to, support the world and the country in a wide perspective, if I may say.
At what age did you start doing this work?
I would say it's really started at my early age, where most of the times I could see some of the injustices I personally was facing. For example, if I used to play football at school in primary, I used to do any kind of sports that I felt like mostly that was considered for boys. So I remember one time when we had a sort of a competition, and they told me, oh no, you don't have to be playing that much. You might grow or have voice muscles, if I may call it that way. So I feel like, why? It's something I really like. Why shouldn't I do just because I'm a girl? So it kept on to the point, sometimes teachers will challenge you and think that no, you cannot achieve. You have to probably do languages and all that. No, you shouldn't be doing math or computer or something like that. So at the end of the day, you're going to get married after your senior six, if you're lucky to get there, or if you don't get pregnant along the way or something like that. So those were some of the examples that kind of limited me to think further, of which it didn't stop me, but I feel for any other girl who would not have the courage to think that they can do more than what they're told that they can. So yeah, from there I was part of the competition of Miss Rwanda, of where I thought it's going to be a platform for me to raise my voice and inform the world of what I really want to do for the community. So from there and then, I always saw something else that would add on to what I've already experienced, but also what I see other girls experiencing, and mostly the high rates of teenage pregnancy. By then it was at 10.3%, and yet it was beyond the average rate of the country. So it gave me the reason to why I should continue and think bigger of how I can make a greater impact in the community. And that's how Afro-Ark came up, to make sure that I bring on board different people that have the same passion that I have, to support in even reaching to bigger communities. If by then could be able to call at least 10 girls to talk to, have conversation and think what we can do. Today we've already been able to reach out over 5,000 people. So it's a great achievement.
Currently, what are the biggest challenges that a young girl and women are facing today? What are the most pressing problems today?
I'll start with trying to clarify what has been happening mostly in the past and how it's changing the form. For example, it used to happen that if I have a girl and a boy is the one, in case I'm not able to support both of them, a boy will be the one to go to school. But also, in some cases, there are those who believe that a girl shouldn't go to school anyway. They have to be told how to clean, how to take care of a husband by the time, in case they get, they're preparing her to be able to take care of her home when she gets there and take care of household activities. So today, we are also grateful that the government had to put much effort to ensure that girl child education is respected and we can have a big number of girls going to school. But either way, now it's beyond looking at it as a girl is just going to school. It's saying, if she has gone to school, does she have a friendly environment that will also enable her to thrive at school and win? Are we going to think about making sure by the time one goes into her menstrual periods, does she have the commodities in case those who can't afford, or else if it's time for menstrual periods, they have to say, you know what, stay at home when it's done, go back to school. Or else when you think that you have to look for any extra money to support the family, you have to tell the girl to stay at home to take care of the young one. So today I would say the challenges have changed their form, and to looking as just providing, it's like beyond just telling you, oh, this is food. How do I make sure that I'm teaching that person to make their own food? But also in the future, if you give that person food today, they can be able to provide it for themselves tomorrow, or something like that. So on the other hand, we have a lot of GBV that is still happening, both emotionally, physically, sexually, that we are really still dealing with. At some point, I think even recently, His Excellency had to talk about it. You find that young couples just got married, but they are always fighting to the point they almost kill each other, and some do. So those are the very many issues that women and girls are still facing, and the fact that a high number of women and girls still economically depend on other people or on men it's also puts them at a higher risk of facing those GBV issues in their homes.
GBV specifically, I mean gender-based violence.
And for SRHR, it's sexual reproductive health rights and services, when the tag at the end.